All right, let's just review the distributive property a little bit more tonight. Let's copy these 4 problems down on our paper. You can do them one at a time with me if you like. Let's look at this. I want you to make sure that you write down exactly what I'm writing down. Okay, let's look at the first one here. 5 times the quantity, 20 plus x. Notice I'm going to need to distribute my 5 to both terms inside parentheses, and I'm going to have to bring down my sign. So let's look at what this means. I want you to write the first one, 5 times 20, and I want you to write it just like this. Then we're going to bring down our sign, our plus, and then we're going to remember to go back to our outside 5 and multiply it by our second term, our x. Okay, now you can solve. 5 times 20 is 100 plus 5x. That was easy. Okay, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take this 5 here on my outside and I'm going to multiply it this direction. And just like last time, I'm going to write down my 5. So I'm going to have 2 things that I'm multiplying my 5 by. The first is my 20, and the second is my x. Remember that I'm multiplying 5 by x, though, so it's 5 times x. All right, now you can simplify, and you get 100 plus 5x. Also, if you had it reversed, let's say you had 5x plus 5 times 20. That's totally fine. The order doesn't matter. All right, let's come over here and let's make sure I do the same thing here. I'm going to take my first term, 9 times 30. I have to bring down my sign, and then 9 minus 9 minus 2x. All right, and now I can simplify. This is what? Oh, good, 270. Make sure you bring down your sign, and 9 times 2 is 18, and I've got that x. Okay, the next one I'm going to do is just reverse. Let's do it this way. Let's say I have 9 times 2x. If I'm doing, you always want to do the outsidemost term first. So I'm going to do 9 times 30 first, and that's 9 times 30. Bring your sign down, minus 9 times 2x. All right, and again, I get 270 minus 9 times 2 is what? 18. Good job. All right, remember that you should have this minus here. Okay, let's look at doing a couple more. What if I have something like this? Negative 2 times 5x plus 3. And let's also look at negative 2 times the quantity 5x minus 3. All right, now this one you got to be really careful about. You got to remember that it's the whole negative 2 that I'm multiplying by this and by that. So I'm going to take negative 2 times 5x. Make sure you write it down just like this. You don't skip this step. This is really critical because I don't want to drop this negative. All right, now you can simplify. So now I have negative 2 times 5, which is what? Negative 10x. Good. And negative 2 times 3 is negative 6. All right, that's as far as I can go. The only other thing I might want to do is just simply rewrite it so that it's negative 10x minus 6. All right, because plus adding a negative is the same as just negative. All right, we're going to do the same thing over here. I'd like you to pause me and try this one on your own. All right, let's check this. Remember that I'm taking the whole negative 2 and multiplying it by 5 and by 3. So I'm going to have negative 2 times 5x. Bring down this negative. And then I've got this negative 2 again times my second term, my 3. All right, let's look at this now. Negative 2 times 5 is negative 10. And there's that x. Keep my negative. Negative 2 times 3 is negative 6. Uh-oh. What happens with this? Well, hopefully you remember that this becomes, 2 negatives becomes a positive. So my answer here is negative 10x plus 6. All right, let's do a few more, and then I'm going to let you do some more on your own. All right. Let's look at 3 times 4m minus 7. Pause me and do this one on your own. All right, welcome back. Let's check your work. Hopefully you took 3 here, and you took 3 here. So 3 times 4m. Bring your sign down. 3 times 7. 3 times 4 is 12m. Bring my sign down. And 3 times 7 is 21. That should be what you have there. Let's look at one other. This time I'm going to do a negative on my outside. And I'm going to do this negative times the quantity of 5q minus 6. All right. Careful with this one. Remember that if I have a negative on the outside, I've got to distribute that negative here and here. So let's look at what that looks like. I'm going to take that negative, and I'm going to multiply it by 5q. I'm going to bring down my negative just like I did before, that sign here in the middle. And then I'm going to take this negative that's out here, and I'm going to distribute it to my 6. Okay, now I have negative 5q. Uh-oh, minus a negative. What does that become? That becomes a positive. And that should be your answer. All right, I'd like you on your own. You should have all of these steps. You should have one where you show me exactly what you're distributing, and then you can simplify. All right. Let's do number 1. 2 times the quantity 3 minus 7t. And let's do 0.4 plus 1.1c times the quantity of 3. And let's do a negative on the outside times the quantity 2x plus 1. And let's do a negative on the outside times the quantity 3 minus 8a. And for our last one this evening, let's